Okay, YouTube, we're back again. We're going to continue the tier list train, looking at tier 2 ARKs. This will be the second installment of this little mini series. Let's just jump right in. We know the drill, right? We're looking at 5 more of these different ARKs, starting with the Unleashed Beast King. I know that in-game it's just called Unchained Beast because I have this one, so I'm excited to read about it. There's the image of it. So this is actually rated 8.5. This is better than the previous 5 ARKs that we looked at. Its characteristic is just an A, but the acquired skills are an S, and then the Ether reward is also an S. So good to note. It's an SSR. Characteristic, physical damage plus 20% when recovering from abnormal conditions. Oh, I think this is just its own thing. Physical damage plus 20%. Then, when recovering from abnormal conditions, SCT recovers for 10 seconds, movement speed increases, physical damage plus another 20%. An effect grant probability. You will not be scared of magic attacks. Damage taken by that magic is minus 30%. So, if you've got a strategy where you're recovering or you're able to recover from status ailments, you're just going to get a whole bunch of buffs with this ARK equipped. The other reward is the Beast King's Double Horn Spear. Strength plus 192, defense plus 75. It's a weapon. Attribute is dark. Physical attack, the enemy's defense power and attribute resistance are each halved with a probability to deal damage. So I think when you're dealing damage with it, there's a percentage chance that the attribute resistance is halved, which is pretty nuts. So you can probably see some big damage numbers with this equipment. Looking at the skills that you can acquire, paralysis tolerance. I think this is stun resist in the game. Less likely to be paralyzed. If it's a weakness, take away the weakness. Skill charge 2, so this recovers SCT at the start of the battle in your second skill slot. Beast shield, damage received from beast type minus 10%. Sniper slayer, great effect on the sniper system or class with physical attacks. Darkness shield, damage taken from darkness attacks received from enemies minus 20%. And then also spear high boost, which increases the power of physical attacks when equipped with a spear by 15% and minus 15% physical damage. So if you've got a spear unit, probably already has this skill, but let's say you get this equipment from 100% ether, and then you learn the spear high boost and equip it with someone, a physical damage style dealer. It's going to be a nice little combo. Looking at the commentary, ARK you want to equip with a physical character. No kidding. Because obviously it's just buffing your physical power by a lot. Ether reward that can lower the attribute resistance of the enemy. Can reduce the attribute resistance of the enemy. The only other equipment that can be involved in attribute resistance when attacking is the secret gun Trishra, which is a very valuable and can be used in high difficulty quests because it's just going to have a chance to cut resistances in half, which is pretty crazy. It's going to give you HP 1765, MP 18, Strength 341, Defense 341, Int 74, Mind 293. So not a lot of HP increase, but monstrous buffs right here in Strength, Defense, and Mind. This is going to be another ARK that requires like 3 million to fully boost it up to level 10. And then no ARK extensions here either. So, still don't know why. Looking at the next one, translated to Sulfuric Acid Spring. Huh, that doesn't sound appealing. There's the picture. It's another 8.5, characteristic A, acquired skills S, Ether reward S, same rankings as the Unchained Beast. At level 10, you're going to get the ability, although always HP is reduced, the enemy of the attribute resistance damage to minus 20 resistance that it one or more at the time of physical attack. I got nothing from that sentence. A little recover, the HP 10%. I don't think there's been a worse translation than this one right here. A little recover. So when HP is 10%, you recover a little bit. SCT at the time of the enemy defeated, killed instantly, effect of power rise and low probability of skills. Goddess Luisa's Grant. Boss R Boss and arena invalid. What? Hold on. So while your HP is going down, the enemy of the attribute resistance damage. Okay, I don't know if that's while the enemy HP is going down or if while your HP is going down. The enemy's attribute resistance is -20. After a physical attack, maybe, and then you recover HP at 10% HP. I have no idea. The Ether reward is the Silver Spear, Strength plus 185, Defense 67, Mind 43, Attribute none, Poison, Illness, and Paralysis resistance +1. So kind of just a solid spear equip. The skills that you can get: Super Dangerous Medicine, Weakness, 25% reduction in strength/int of a single enemy. Super Fatigue, 25% in defense/mind for a single enemy. Panacea of Science. I'm assuming this came with the Dr. Stone collab. Recovers poison, darkness, silence, curse, illness, and paralysis of a single ally. Hydrogen Sulfide. Powerful ice-based attacks on a wide range of enemies, giving illness with a probability. Gas Mask. Gives a barrier that invalidates basic condition abnormalities only once at the beginning of battle. Permanent effect. Dang. Goddess Ryu. It becomes easier to be targeted by enemies and regularly inflicts dark damage on nearby enemies. I noticed this sentence too. When the ARK Ether reaches 100%, the AP magnification changes to 3 times. I'm not correlating what AP is, so if someone in the comments wants to drop some clarification for me, that would be appreciated. Looking at the commentary, you can learn powerful debuff magic. That was pretty obvious, right? You can lower strength and int of enemies. Fatigue has the effect of lowering defense and mind by 25%. 5% more than debuffs such as Blazer and Sin. A high defensive stat increase. Sulfuric acid springs have a high increase in defense status. I guess we'll see that down here. At level 10, you got the 2838 HP, 44 to MP, 72 to strength, 240 to defense, 171 to int, and then 343 to mind. So yes, a very tanky ARK that you can equip. And looky here, it looks like for the first 6 levels you got to use blue souls. Next 4 you got to use red souls, so that half and half split that we've seen before. And no ARK extensions. Okay, heard. Looking at the third entry on today's list is the Storm Dragon Verdola. I have actually seen this in game. I don't have it, but I thought it was a pretty cool looking one. I think it came with the slime, right? This is that one time the Reincarnation Slime collab. This is the dragon, the Tempest Dragon that's featured in that anime. It's also an 8.5, same rankings as the other two. Characteristic A, acquired skill S, Ether reward S. ARK characteristics, so the ability at level 10 grants the effect of the magic Bracer, strength reduction, to all enemies at the beginning of the battle. The status up effect of the magic Name is increased to 10%, 15%. The power of all attribute attacks is increased by 10%. Sounds pretty solid to me. The rewarded 100% is Kaijin's Longsword, strength plus 115, and then strength increased by 15%. That's nice. If this was a higher strength stat increase, I think this would be a double S for sure. The acquired skills you can get: Breaker, increases the break value, solid, attack up 4, strength by 12%. Nice. Chance Drive, increased damage to stunned and broken enemies. Give a name, yeah, definitely from the slime anime. Consume half of your HP and increase strength, defense, int, mind of a single ally by 10%. No effect on yourself. So as long as you have consistent and good healing, this can actually be a really good skill. Life Brave, the less HP you have, the higher your strength, up to 50%. That's a nice little skill right there. We have Blessing of the Storm Dragon, where you have your dragon type is added to the character. Increase strength by 10%, physical attack damage minus 15%. So is that decreasing your physical attack damage, but it's increasing your strength by 10%? That's a very... I doubt it. I think this is physical attack damage that you take. Right? It has to be. Why would it give you a strength buff and then a physical attack damage debuff? That doesn't make sense to me. But You never know until you see it in game. Looking at the commentary, acquire the powerful skill, attack up 4, right? I'm assuming that 4th tier is the highest level that you can achieve, which increases your stuff by 12%. The ARK you want to attach to the attribute physical, right? Obviously you want to give this to a physical attacker. The ARK characteristics of the Storm Dragon Verdola can make 10% attribute attacks, so it is comparable with attribute physical attacks such as Dilmordo and Sarius. At level 10, it's giving you 2193 HP, 36 MP, 352 strength, 282 defense, 205 int, 74 mind, so a monstrous strength boost from this one. It's not showing a consumption amount, so I'm wondering if this is no longer available and it was given to players at level 10. It was just given to them maxed out, which would be kind of crazy. So if you have this, I'm guessing it's a limited time thing, so props to you. No ARK extensions, so I need to figure that one out. This ARK is translated to Holy Sword Legend 2 Sacred Sword Legend collaboration, so this is a collab ARK as well, but Sacred Sword Legend, I think that's it's a different name in the global version. Looks like an 8 out of 10. The characteristics of the ability is an S, the acquired skills are a B, but then the ether reward is also an S. ARK characteristics: when equipped with a sword, the power of physical attacks increases by the number of buffs, up to 6, plus 30%. Maximum HP plus 25% if all men, women, and other units are included in the party. All men, women, and other units are included in the party. Strength, int, defense, and mind increase by 5%. Does that mean one of each gender or sex type? Or does that mean if the party is all men, or if it's all women, or if it's all blank, then you get these certain stat buffs? That's kind of confusing to me. The ether reward is the mana sword, HP plus 300, strength plus 185, attribute is none, increases the power of physical attacks by 30% against divine boss monsters. So I imagine that's pretty OP for late game when you're fighting divine bosses with these fat little buffs right here. 300 and 185, those are good numbers. The skills you can get: heal water, recovers HP, single ally, dash. Super special move gauge is hard to accumulate, but movement speed is increased. Acid storm, ice type attacks on all enemies, giving enemies a defense down effect with a probability. Power counter, strength increased by 30% when the super special move gauge is fully accumulated. So you're going to be moving at increased speeds with this skill, but then if you can wait out that delayed special move gauge time, it's going to hit 30% hard. It's going to hit like a truck. Lunatic, mysterious things happen randomly. Okay. Mana blessing, protection, magic barrier, speed, and regeneration are automatically activated only once when dying. So it revives you? Possibly? I think. Maybe. It doesn't include that you're revived, so maybe it doesn't. But if you do get revived, then all of these things activate. The commentary says only when equipped with a sword, but the strength greatly increases. Yes, so any characters that can equip a sword, this would also be important to make sure you use that coastline sword, I think it was called, coastline blade, the R rank ARK that allows other weapons to equip the sword. And then you throw this on there and they're dealing stupid damage. Magic Lunatic, where strange things happen. Oh, I'm interested here. The Magic Lunatic that can be learned in Secret of Mana 2 is a magic that randomly activates one of many effects. Although it is a magic with many disadvantages, it is recommended to use it as a luck test because it activates MP recovery that cannot be done normally. It's just like a little gimmick. It's a fun little thing to do. Oh, here's what it can activate. Strength, int, defense, mind, down debuff for all enemies. HP recovery for all enemies and allies. Ooh. Recover your own MP. Probability of paralyzing all enemies and allies. So there's two that aren't, they're kind of like washes, right? Like you're recovering your HP, but also the enemies. And then you're paralyzing the enemies, but also yourself. But these other two are really good if they can proc. At level 10, you get 2455 HP, 49 MP, 266 strength, 243 defense, 91 int, and 223 mind. So obviously a really good ARK to equip for physical attackers. This is also a blue and red soul split while you're upgrading it. Good to note. And 0 ARK extensions. Numero 5. Number 5 is called Those Who Suffer from Disaster. I've actually seen this. I've seen this ARK in game as well. This tier 2 ARK actually gets a 9 out of 10. So interesting. That's the highest rating we've seen so far. All S's across the board for the characteristic, the skills acquired, and the ether reward. So at level 10, your physical attack damage plus 10%, physical attack damage to boss monsters plus 10%, break value plus 50% when physically attacking from behind. Chase occurs in super special move during break. I don't know what chase is, but wow, that's a lot of really good physical attack damage buffs. And then the giant hammer Zabalga. Strength plus 200, that's huge. Attribute none at the start of battle. Okay, int/mind is set to minus 10% and the reduced amount is added to strength. That's pretty dumb. You're gonna be hitting like a truck. Looking at its skills, Sharp. Critical rate plus 10% when HP is maximum. Strong Smell King. Becomes difficult to be targeted by the enemy. Okay. Hammer Boost increases physical attack power by 7%. Right? And strength plus 5%. High Counter increases the power of counter. Two-handed mallet. When equipped with only one mallet or hammer, physical attack damage plus 20%, critical rate plus 10%, physical damage upper limit plus 2,000. Whoa. Giant killing, special skill / super move, special damage to boss monsters plus 20%. Yeah, you're smacking things hard with this ARK. Looking at the commentary, versatile ARK characteristics. Those who suffer from disaster have versatile ARK characteristics that can be equipped for any quest. It is also useful in boss battles because it increases the attack power and break power. Yeah, it's kind of OP. Giant killing is powerful because that's another added bonus to boss monsters. Super special moves and skills plus 20%. That's ridiculous. It's going to give you 3118 HP, 37 MP, 363 strength, 293 defense, 44 int, and 110 mind. Bruh. It's another 3 million to get it all the way to level 10. And then here's the ARK extension numbers. Like, why isn't this in tier 1? I don't really see... It seems like it's on a different tier than these last, 9 that we've looked at? These last 9 ARKs? In tier 2, it seems like it's on a different level. I don't know what keeps it from being in tier 1. Alright, we're going to do a 6th one because after that we just have another 6. So instead of doing 5, 5, 7, I'd rather do 5, 6, 6. So last installment for this episode is Supper in Another World. Oh, this is a Halloween event one. I missed out on this. This is also a 9 out of 10. It looks like it's the LR that was introduced for whatever Halloween event they had, just like we have White Christmas this time around. Characteristic S, acquired skills S, and the ether reward is a double S. At level 10, you get the ability Delicious Enemies to defeat, an SCT recovery to single enemy every 20 seconds. Burasasu Rosutoma Nemesis to grant any of the if itself is masquerading physical and ultra. Oh, look at this. The website had a stroke. It can't even decipher what this is trying to say. This will have to rely on someone who knows what this does. But yeah, this tells me absolutely nothing. But the ether reward gives you 500 HP and 171 defense. So tanky tank. Easy to be targeted by enemies. So you slap this on any tank and you're chilling. The skills that you can get: Mimicry magical creature, adds magical creature to your type. Magic power up 3, increases int by 8. Magic damage absorption. When receiving magic damage, there is a chance that HP will be restored by 10% of the damage. Okay. Giga Darkness. Darkness to all enemies. Robe equipment. You can equip a robe with this. Happy Halloween. Fort, Metis, Vitality, and Haste are automatically activated at the beginning of the battle. So it just automatically boosts all of your stats, which is kind of ridiculous. It's saying when you defeat a delicious enemy, so I'm guessing this is a event-specific ARK. Like, what qualifies as a delicious enemy? It sounds like that was an event-specific enemy. So this might not be as effective now that the event's over, but I could be wrong. Okay, here's the commentary. ARK that anyone can get. The Eldritch Supper is an ARK that anyone can get. You can get it with a free limited gacha for the 1.5th anniversary, so be sure to get it during the period. I must have just started playing right when this was no longer available, unfortunately. Because I started playing with the 1.5, but I only had a couple days left on DB Ray's banner when I jumped in, so I don't remember seeing this anywhere. Happy Halloween is powerful, right? Gives you all 4 buffs at the start of battle. 20% increase is kind of crazy. It's going to give you 2216 HP. Oh, look at that. You can't even see the stats this whole time. I just looked at the webcam, but I'll read it off to you. 2216 HP, 58 MP, 231 strength, 227 defense, 250 int, and 247 mind. So it's giving you some big numbers for all attributes, which is crazy. This is also a 6 blue soul levels and 4 red soul levels, and no ARK extension stats anywhere to be found. So kind of a unique LR ARK that was given. If you got this, congrats, but it looks like I'm not going to ever be getting it. That's going to take care of our part 2 of the tier 2 ARK list that we're looking at right here. We've got 6 more to go, then we're going to finish off tier 2. Then we'll go ahead and move on into tier 3, which will be another kind of multiple parts installment. I enjoy doing these because it gives me some clarification on some ARKs and stuff that I've seen in the game before, and it gets me excited to potentially pull or try out new ones that I haven't yet encountered in the game. So cool stuff. We're just gonna end it. Y'all know what I say. Work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.